I'm really happy to get this opportunity because I actually went to this event a lot when it was held in Los Angeles, because I used to live in Los Angeles. I got here 2 years ago, and this is a great opportunity to celebrate California Lawyers for the Arts, the breadth of services and its longevity, while we recognize and honor some of the people and organizations who have contributed significantly to the success of arts in the state of California.
Hi everyone. First of all, I'd really like to thank all of you for being here tonight, because without you, our organization would be nothing. And your support of the arts and the arts community means everything in our society and here. And thank you for being here. And I'd like to say that this is our 11th annual Artistic License Award. We've been doing this for 11 years to acknowledge people in the community who have contributed to artists and helping arts foundations, and who recognize the importance of art to our culture and our society. And so we've been, in addition to 43 years of providing legal services and educational programs, we're really excited to provide you with also our 25 years of internships for deserving young people through our Spotlight for the Arts program, which Alma's going to tell you more about.
Now more than ever, we need CLA in times like these. The arts speak truth to power. As artists and arts organizations become more successful, they contribute to our state's economic development while strengthening communities throughout the state. We now have offices in 4 cities and also provide services in San Diego County. Those cities are, of course, San Francisco, Sacramento, Los Angeles, and Berkeley, Alameda County. We are also producing this year 6 Art for Justice forums. We got one of 30 grants from the National Art for Justice Fund, administered by the Ford Foundations. We had our first Art for Justice Forum in Michigan in April, and we are going to continue with programs in Texas, New York, California, Georgia, and Alabama and New York. And these forums are bringing together legislative leaders, arts leaders, education administrators, and professors who are interested in developing something like the situation we've had in California, where we were able to restore arts programs in corrections. I want to shout out to my wonderful colleague, Lori Brooks from the William James Association, who led that effort with me, and we worked since 2011 with the support of some folks who are here that you'll hear from later tonight. We are also celebrating 25 years of our Spotlight on the Arts program, and I want to acknowledge Deborah Major, who helped create that program as a consultant in 1993. So, Deborah, thank you for coming, and we'll be talking more about that program later.
So here to present the award to Recology is Senator Mark Leno.
And first of all, just let me say what an extraordinary force Alma Robinson and California Lawyers for the Arts is in Sacramento. Fierce is how I would describe it. And when we're talking about the arts and talking about novel and effective programs, such as bringing art into the prison system so that we can stimulate and revitalize lives, so that we can return folks to their community and make sure that their lives are successful, which means that there'll be less crime in our neighborhoods and everyone benefits. So this is extraordinary work that you all do. And so it's a pleasure to celebrate your award ceremony tonight. My job tonight is to recognize Recology and its Artist in Residence program. When San Francisco, and it's not if, but when San Francisco gets to zero waste, it will be because of the vision and leadership of Recology. And this is something we all know we need to get to, but it takes some thinking and it takes some leading by example to get there. And Recology in San Francisco are on that pathway. But the Artist in Residence program, in effect, allows all of us to readjust our vision of the world and to see that what was refuse, what was trash, is in fact the granules for artistic creation. And to bring sustainability and resource conservation wrapped up and redirected into artistic creation is exhilarating just in thought, much less in deed. So 175 professional and student artists have been residents and have benefited from it, and we have benefited in exchange. There's a permanent collection, traveling collection, a sculpture garden. I think it's 3 acres of sculpture garden, and this in itself is worthy of recognition. So Mike Sangiacomo, if you could join us, I'd be pleased to present you with this award. So congratulations, Mike's all yours.
Well, I'm here tonight accepting this because Deborah Monk, the manager of our art program, who's sitting over there, doesn't like to speak in public, and she says, you don't mind at all. So, Alma, I asked if I could wear no tie tonight. You said I had to because he always wears one. You restricted me from expressing my artistic license.
Take it off.
So, I mean, you heard a lot from Mark from the video about our program. It started back in 1990 when a local artist named Joe Hansen moved into Lower Haight and said, this street is filthy, and she just kept sweeping and sweeping throughout the whole neighborhood, got the city officials involved, and we got to do a litter abatement program out here. They brought her out to see our facilities, and they said, she looked at it and said, wow, there is so much stuff here that artists could use if they could just get their hands on it. And with that, we said, well, that sounds like a good idea. Let's start it. That was back in 1990. 175 artists later, we're still doing it. They are required only to use materials that they find in the dump, the public disposal area. And the saying we have there is, if you need something, just let us know, it's going to come. Which is actually just a sad commentary on our society and how much we throw away. This program exists because we want to create awareness with everybody we touch that there are a lot of things we can do with what people throw away rather than just put it in a landfill. We look at these all as resources. We see our company has a vision of a world without waste. There'll always be work for us to do, finding uses for all those materials, but if we can only think about proper uses of things that using once and throwing away just doesn't make a lot of sense.
So, also tonight, we are celebrating a special, unique program that CLA has produced for the past 25 years for the youth of San Francisco, Spotlight on the Arts. I actually got to participate in Spotlight on the Arts last year. I had only lived in San Francisco for a year. I've been with KQED for 1 year. And here's what was cool about it for me, was one, I was asked to tell my story, because I was an aspiring artist before I got into public radio. So for me, it was really neat to connect the path that I had traveled into public radio from the arts, and to share with young people how, even if you don't go deep into the arts as a career, it really helps you in whatever it is you decide to do. This year, CLA is making a special appeal for spotlight donations in order to strengthen the program in San Francisco while also making plans to scale it up with programs in other California cities.
I really want to acknowledge Jill Royson for her work with this program for the last 15 years. She's been really inspired working with young people, and they have informed our whole organization about what we need to do for our futures. So Jill, please, let's acknowledge you. And thank you for your hard work with this program. And Sherry Lou. Sherry, where are you? There she is. She participated in Spotlight in 2003 and 2004, interning at the new Conservatory Theater Center and Museum, which is now the Children's Creativity Museum. In 2016, she worked in our office to help us develop our new alumni network and produce our inaugural event. She will graduate in May with a master's in social work from San Jose State. You go, girl.
Now I want to welcome Senator Scott Wiener to the stage, who will make the next presentation.
Thank you. Unlike Mike, I did do my artistic expression. After all these years, you get sick of the politician uniform. You want to dress like a normal person. So I'm really thrilled to be able to present Loni Hancock with the next award. So I think a lot of people don't fully understand the impact that you can make as a California state senator if you set your mind to it. And Loni knows that, Mark Leno certainly knows it. And people get so focused on Congress sometimes, which is really important, don't get me wrong. But when you're talking about a body of 40 people making so many major decisions for the 5th largest economy in the world, for a state that has so much good happening and so many massive challenges. It is, if you're willing to break some glass and push the envelope and sometimes have people get mad at you, you can do a lot. And Loni is certainly one of those people who I recognized immediately that she was going to break some glass, push the envelope, piss some people off from time to time, and get some things done. And she did that. Loni did many, many things, but her work on criminal justice reform is just extraordinary. And helping to make sure that the arts and arts education got into the prison, that's incredibly important. I know that's one of the reasons that Loni's being honored tonight. The work that Lawyers for the Arts does, this entire endeavor is really important. But Loni's work went well beyond that. In California, we, as progressive a state as we are, we sometimes lead the way in not so great ways. Housing is one of those situations, and now spreading to other states in terms of our housing problems. But mass incarceration was one of the other ways where California led the way in a bad way, where in the 80s and the 90s, we just ballot measure after ballot measure after law to keep people in jail, in prison longer, to create all sorts of new crimes, to have enhancement after enhancement for drug offenses. And it resulted in California spending more on our prisons than on higher education. It resulted in massive prison overcrowding, where we were eventually, the federal courts came down on us and said, your prison system is unconstitutional. You're not giving people the health care they need. You're treating people inhumanely. You don't have the space that you need. Now, of course, there was the immediate reaction, well, let's just build more prisons. And Loni and others said, absolutely not. Let's have a progressive approach to the criminal justice system where people who need to be in prison are in prison, and we try to rehabilitate them and get them the help that they need. And not everyone needs to be in prison. And we need to focus on rehabilitation and alternatives to incarceration and rebuilding our mental health safety net and treating drug addiction as the health condition that it is, not as a crime. And she did just tremendous work as a senator, as chair of the Public Safety Committee, as chair of the Public Safety Budget Committee, which is a very powerful position because you get to really tell the prison system what to do in a lot of ways. And when they're coming and asking more money, for money to build more or to hire more guards, you have a lot of leverage. And Loni knew how to exercise that leverage. But we had a wonderful conversation, and she really talked to me from the heart about why this work matters. That when people are in prison, we want them to come out better than how they went in, and be able to reintegrate into society. And so, Loni, thank you for everything you do. You're really an inspiration to so many people. And it is my honor to present to you this award to recognize you for your amazing work. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank Scott for the introduction and simply point out he's broken a few glasses himself and he is still in his first term. So keep on. Keep on. I have And this is a wonderful award. Truly, it's a great thing. I'm going to treasure it. I just have to give a shout out to my dear husband, who, when he was in the state assembly, carried the very first bill for an artistic license plate or an arts license plate. And it took a couple of years, but we may pay slowly in public life, right? But it takes persistence and it takes some vision, and that's why I want to thank you guys tonight for the award, but for the work that you have done year in and year out to make sure that it happened. You know, I did have the ability for 6 years to chair both the policy and the budget committees in public safety. Well, what do we find? We know that 90% of the people in our state prisons will return to their communities someday. And we want them to return as safe neighbors. We want them to return as people who have not been damaged by their experience of being incarcerated. We want the loss of freedom, as they say in Norway, where we visited a number of prisons. The loss of freedom is the punishment. The conditions of incarceration should not be the punishment. And in our prison system, they were, and probably still are. We started making change over the 6-year period. And we have set ourselves on a track that is different. But it's important to me to have people like Scott there and others, because the bureaucracy can weigh you out. And we really need to continue on this trajectory, and you all in California Lawyers for the Arts are going to be a very, very significant part of making sure that we continue on this path. And I want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank Alma Robinson, who was there every year that we worked to get this program reinstalled and funded. I want to thank the William James Association from Santa Cruz. You guys were there all the time too, you know, and others. It takes persistence. None of us can do it alone. It takes people out in the community saying to their representatives, we want this, do this, this is the right thing. And you guys were there. You were my main stalwart right arm to make sure that we continue this program. And all I ask is that you never stop. We want to have an arts program, because you know, I'd love to see some of the Recology internships, but I visited some of the art programs in our prisons, and for so many of these people, this is the only outlet they have for anything positive, for any creativity, and they do some extraordinary work. And we want to have an arts program in every prison, I would say in every county jail, in every juvenile hall for these young people so that they can get back on track. And we've got a way to go, but working together, in or out of office, whatever, we are on the way and we can get it done. And so thank you, thank you, thank you, and we'll be there together in the future.
I'd like to echo Senator Leno's sentiments regarding California Lawyers for the Arts. They're amazing, almost amazing. She was just asking me why I'm in her contact database, like from years ago. It's because she gets around everywhere. Like whatever hat I was wearing at the time, there you were in front of me. I have offices right now in the DOJ. So we're, surrounded by lawyers and cops and judges and whoever else works there. And then there's the Arts Council. And I've always quipped that they're there protecting the arts for us. But this organization is doing the great good work and the heavy lift. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. I've been lucky to know Donn in several different contexts. He's preaching to this personal choir when he talks about arts education, because I was an educator for 4 decades. I think of myself as still an educator, it's just different contexts these days. I first got to know Donn within the scope of Create California, which is a collective impact organization that I helped found for arts education statewide advocacy. And Donn was right there seated at our leadership council table, helping us form a pretty dynamic group that has made some substantive change in the face of arts education and continues to do so with his good advice and counseling and great jokes when we need it, so we can keep ourselves laughing. I know Donn by looking at the exemplary models of arts ed that he's had with Oakland School for the Arts, now his work with San Francisco Unified. He's always been right out there at the edge with me, saying, why not? Why can't we do this? Why can't we just shift our notions of what education should be, put the arts inside of everything, get the kids making stuff, and switch it up? And he's still there to this day, and I really appreciate it. Donn wants to lift up the voices of artists in this state, and he does that every single day in every bit of work that he does. He enables the public to have a voice in all of our work. His passion for this work has helped so many in this whole state understand and truly believe that art works and art matters. On behalf of the California Arts Council, I'd like to present you with this award and let you know that it is a great honor to work with you.
So this is a great, great honor. And to be on the program here, at the state level, I've had the honor of chairing the California Arts Council for the past 3 years. In fact, I just stepped down a few months ago and rotated off. I'm now doing the strategic plan. I'm the head of the strategic plan committee. But I watched our budget grow in the 3 to 3.5 years that I was the chair, from $5 million to $26 million plus, including many of those prison programs that we're talking about today. Really beef that budget up. I see William James Association is here. Thank you guys for that work, and we were certainly partners in it. I'm one of the few people who really gets to use the word quintuple. So we quintupled our budget. That's a real word. I'm going to use it. That's pretty special. The voters, the governor, all that's been really great. So we're talking 5 times quintuple. Vision, yeah. When's the last time you used that word quintuple? When I was writing down, some people aren't using this word, but you'll know what it means. Our commitment in the millennial world at the Arts Council level is for creativity, leadership, collaboration, empathy, and the resources to support it. This stuff doesn't happen with nothing. All of this, going from 5 million to 26 million at the Arts Council level, the urgency still exists. We're happy to say it's happening, and at 26 million, we're not done yet, we hope. We just heard possibly some good news coming down the line for this year, too. Seems like people are realizing something very special about the arts of the 21st century. Creativity is the new rigor, and we're going to keep ourselves from madness. Creativity is the new rigor. Very important, and I think everybody knows it. We just have to say it right. Fluid thinking is the natural expansion of critical thinking. And we have the tools to get it right in the classroom, in the boardrooms, and dare I say it to a room full of attorneys, in the courtroom. So, thank you so much for this award. I really, really appreciate all the work that I've been able to do. It's because of you guys. We've done it all together, so thank you.
I'm very honored to be able to provide this award tonight, because when I did a little research on Lowenstein's, Sandler's pro bono work, I was really amazed. I mean, they just really have, they're recognized for their extensive and ongoing commitment to providing pro bono work across the legal services. And when I looked at the numbers, I was really astounded. Over 19,000 hours of pro bono work in 2017 alone, serving over 420 pro bono clients, which amounts to an average of about 64 hours of pro bono work for each of the firm's lawyers. Since they've been active in providing pro bono services in the past 21 years, over 400,000 of hours of pro bono work has been offered to our community. And the pro bono services are specifically designed to help our under-resourced and underrepresented communities get the type of protection that they need. When it comes to patents and intellectual property, that's even more challenging, because on the patent side, you have to be a registered patent practitioner in order to help an inventor get a patent. So so the field of attorneys shrinks down dramatically. And I've just been really honored to see the commitment across Lowenstein Sandler, as well as other firms, but Lowenstein Sandler in particular, for their leadership in helping to establish the California Inventors Assistance Program, the CIAP, that's administered through the California Lawyers for the Arts. And so just a quick pause, is Bob Pym in the room? Oh, I see him in the back, okay. Bob Pym is the California Lawyers for the Arts Legal Services Director, and has been administering the California Inventors Assistance Program since its inception, and it's been great to work with you as well. So the program, the California Inventors Assistance Program, you think would just reach Californians, but it doesn't. It actually reaches, it has been expanded to help provide pro bono services, not just in California, but also in the states of Oregon, Nevada, Hawaii, and Alaska, all states in my region too. So very pleased to participate in the program and help promote its efforts across the region. But since the inception, since 2012, around a dozen or so Lowenstein Sandler attorneys and agents have been helping to participate in the program and to help advance the efforts of our innovators. So before I call Ben Climes, who's a partner at Lowenstein Sandler, up here to receive the award, I want to tell a story. So I was actually, I'm a little jet lagged earlier this morning, I was actually in Portland, and I was giving a presentation to about 125 startups at this accelerator. And as I always do when I'm talking to emerging enterprises, I want to promote the pro bono program. So I had my slide up there talking about the California Lawyers for the Arts and the California Inventors Assistance Program, and I was encouraging the under-resourced inventors, if they qualified, to definitely apply. And the guy in the very front row, sitting closest to me, basically said, I just want to say, I use the program, and I swear by it, and I just think it's great. And I asked him, so who is helping you? And he said, Lowenstein Sandler. So with that, Ben, please come up.
I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of Lowenstein Sandler. California Lawyers for the Arts, serves a really important role in the community by educating artists, advocating for the arts, and placing artists and innovators with attorneys who can serve their legal needs. It's a privilege for Lowenstein Sandler to be able to help support CLA and to work with the artists, innovators, and creators that rely on CLA. For patent attorneys such as myself, it's often difficult to find pro bono opportunities for which we can really exercise our legal skills, because we have a really narrow range of expertise. So we work with patents, right? And when you think of pro bono work, you don't usually think of patents. But it's nice to be able to do legal work that we really feel like we're experts in, rather than trying to learn a brand new area of law. We're afraid we might be committing malpractice, but that's the only way to help people, because that's where the need is. The CIAP, that's the California Inventors Assistance Program, which CLA has set up and administers. It enables us to apply our legal knowledge to help protect the innovations of low-income inventors who would traditionally be left behind by the patent system. It's really expensive to get a patent, and that cuts the system out for anybody who's not a large corporation. And so the programs like the California Inventors Assistance Program and other regional patent programs, through the states, and enable these low-income inventors to really get protection for their ideas. And there are good ideas that these individuals have. But anyway, we're very thankful to CLA for providing us with the opportunity to work with these individuals, and we hope to continue our relationship with CLA into the future. Thank you.
The California Inventors Assistance Program is the largest program in the country, and 11 innovators, 11 attorneys are who I'd like to recognize tonight for their work in creating the pro bono network and supporting the pro bono network here in California. Just the California Inventors, the CIAP, has helped 334 inventors, and that's valued at $2.7 million of legal services donated through the network. So participation requires a tremendous amount of commitment on the part of the volunteer patent practitioners who are already heavily involved in the rigors of daily patent prosecution activities. And tonight, I want to take a moment to recognize the 11 that are part of the CIAP.
It's really been an honor to be with all of you tonight and celebrate these programs and services. I hope that some of you learned some things. I learned that our friend doesn't like to wear a tie. I'm so sorry.